Hey y'all, I'm James Wright, and welcome back to Wizards News. Wait, I gotta figure out which camera I'm pointing at. I'm pointing at this one. Okay, I've got like 3 cameras up here. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. This is the first live event we've had for Wizards News, and I'm going to be going through the chat down here. So if you want to hop into the live chat and put your questions in there, we'll be getting to those here shortly. If they scroll up too fast, I do automatically jump to super chats, but sometimes they go too fast for me to follow. If you are not watching this live and you want to find out all the questions, I will leave a link down below. Actually, it won't be a link down below. It'll be a list of all the questions down below of when in the live stream they are. So roughly you can jump close to that with the timestamp here. Which reminds me, I got to pull that up so I can record these. There we are. So throw your questions in there, and in just a moment, I'll start answering them as soon as I set this up. We had a bit of an issue today because the kids were all sick, and so it threw off everything, and life is fun. So let's see, there was a question up ahead. Zha Mingzhe, I'm sorry, totally mispronouncing your name. I'm wondering if you're Dr. Zha. He was asking, so disabling screen sleep enables you to run in the background. No, it just makes it so that the screen never turns off. It just always stays on. If you flip over to another app, then your distance tracking stops that. So you have to have the app open. The screen has to be on. And so I've been playing with that today, actually, and seeing how does that actually work? Because down here in my shop, I can just leave it running and look down occasionally, like, ooh, something else popped up. I wonder if I need it, and it works pretty well for that. But that means I have to keep it plugged in because it uses a lot of battery power. So let me scroll down here and see what questions. Holy cow, this live chat is going crazy. Also, if you have a question that if you put like some dot or identifier at the beginning, that allows me to see it, because I can't always read all the comments as they tend to scroll a little faster. So I'm trying to find if there's any questions. There's a lot of chat going on, which is kind of nice. I have been actually working today on the data sheet for all of the port key information and crunching that. I'm about a third of the way through putting in all the information, and I'm actually starting to see some trends, which is very surprising. I wasn't expecting to see data coming out this early, because I need such a large sample size for it. So yes, it's coming about, and I'm hoping to have that video sometime next week, as long as I get enough data to crunch that I get a clear enough picture. And yeah, we'll see. Do you like Harry Potter Park in? Do you like the Harry Potter Park in? Oh, in Hollywood, yeah. I was actually there for the kickoff event, and that was a lot of fun. I've had a lot of people think that it is like the best place to play, which I think it should be, but it's really not that amazing. It's more like any other park and any other distance. It's an okay place to play. Let me put this one down. That was from Fact 2. Oh, we got a super chat from Llissa Glisten. I'm sorry, I'm totally butchering the name. I'm going on Sunday to FanFest. Cool. See you there. Thanks, Llissa. And I am really looking forward to hanging out with you guys and seeing what all's going on there. Some of the preliminary things, and there's been leak of the tasks and all that will be going on at FanFest. They still haven't heard much about what will be happening worldwide during FanFest, so I'm really looking forward to see that. Did you look into the Portrait of Dumbledore issue? That was from Mandilozano. I have asked a few people about it, and I actually haven't gotten a clear answer. Some people are saying that the Portrait of Dumbledore only it should be a severe, but for some reason it's only popping up on the map as a regular and doesn't have the flare on it. And I haven't actually seen the Portrait of Dumbledore, and it's so rare that so few people have seen it that there really isn't a lot of clear information on it. So I'd like to find out that if you have actually seen it, particularly if you have pictures, to see, is it actually listed as severe, and how is that coming up? Let me know. So if it's hiding as a regular one on the map, then maybe that's the reason why it's so rare that people are passing over it. Any preliminary trends in the data? Yes, there are preliminary trends in the data. I shared a few of them with my patrons, but I really don't want to talk about them yet because they are preliminary, and I don't want to get into that just yet. I will be, hopefully today, when I've gotten as far as I can today with crunching data, I will be sharing some of those, particularly with the patrons. But we'll see how that comes out. It is looking like it's a much more simple programming than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a fairly complicated thing, and it's really coming out like there are 3 or 4 options, and then they're random. But how it's actually breaking down is looking kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to diving into that. Let's see. We have a super chat from Lisa August. Everybody can dance. Ooh, I like that name. Everybody can dance. Doing 10 formidable pixies using your video. Level 4 chamber, level 1 runestones, then level 2 runestones. Got only 2 common pixies. That is, yeah, there's still a lot of people stuck on that. And the big thing is they come out more commonly for professors. And so if you are a professor, you'll probably see them about 1 in 5 doing that. If you're not a professor, then you won't see them quite as often. And yeah, there really is no magic bullet to this one, and being able to answer it out that quickly. If you aren't a professor, then you tend to find formidable pixies at like Tower 1. But even then, you're not going to see them that often. The best way, the fastest way to do it is with a group of other people, because the more people out there, the more foes that spawn, and then you get to pick which one you play, and so you can play against them. And so usually I tell people to find a professor to play with, and that is the fastest way to find pixies. But if you don't have one, then you're in a harder boat. Some people have actually switched their profession over to professor, but in order to beat a formidable pixie regularly, you have to put a good bit of scrolls into it in order to get that up. You can do it with just scrolls, so you don't have to waste books on it, but that is the next best way of doing it. So thank you for that. Question from Johan Nyström. Question: have you heard anything about syncing? For example, Garmin running watches. I don't have active sync for PoGo. They get marked as manual entry. Yeah, I have a Garmin watch as well. No, they're talking about doing an adventure sync, kind of like they have a Pokemon Go. The problem with that is that requires a lot of programming and a lot of work in the background. It sounds like a fairly obvious thing, especially since they have it up and going in Pokemon Go. It sounds like it should be really easy for this, but it's not, because you have to rework it all for a whole nother program and work with all of these other bases, and then setting it up with the different companies. And so hopefully that'll be coming out soon, but they haven't said when. I'm kind of expecting it to be another month or 2 until they integrate that, but hopefully sooner. We'll find out. Let me back up and make sure I got this in here. So let's go down and see. Oh, another super chat. Thank you. Another one from Everyone Can Dance. I'm a professor. Oh, okay. Then, yeah, so if you are a professor, then Ruins Chamber number 2, in my tests, I found it about once every 4 to once every 6, somewhere in that range. I got one formidable pixie using a runes level 1, runestone level 1 in Ruins Chamber number 4. If you're using a higher level runestone, you may actually have to back down a chamber to get to that butter zone. But that being said, as a professor, you will also still find them occasionally in harder places, but I found that to kind of be the butter zone for me personally. And for most people, it's going to take you 30 to as many as 60 different battles to actually get all 10 of them. So it is a grind, and it is a lot of work. So don't expect to do 5 and get 1. You might, but it may end up taking 6 to get 1, and then who knows, in the next one you might get another one. So yeah, sorry about that. Would you recommend progressing to a secondary profession tree before maxing your primary profession? If you have extra scrolls, and once you get up to like level 30 to 32, some of that range, you start getting scrolls that you just can't use in your primary profession. And I say definitely then go put those into another profession. Because if something like Formidable Pixies comes up in the future, and you want to be able to switch professions and get them, then go ahead and you'll have that ready for it. So definitely, if you have extra scrolls, that is where I would put them. So that was a question from Thraniac. I am the great butcherer of names, or so my wife says. So sorry about that. Let me make sure I get this in here. I might bring my wife down for these in the future. She helps me out with my Wood by Wright lives, and so she actually gets to read these and ask them to me. The portrait of Dumbledore is only a medium, and they finally fixed that recently. Interesting. That's from Aaron M. Cooper. I want to look into that more because I still have not yet seen a portrait of Dumbledore. It is the one foundable I have not encountered. So yeah. Let's see, we got a question from SkitsoSquirrel. Level 28, level 9 auror, and my boyfriend is level 30, level 10 professor. What fortress level do you recommend for us to grind out red books? For books, I usually say find the highest level that you can regularly do without using potions. That gives you the most you can get through in the fastest amount of time. Now, the big question is, are you measuring it by how many ruinstones you spend to get how many books, or are you measuring it for how much time are you spending to get books? If you're going time to books, the best place is like a level or two below what you can do without doing potions. So if you can do Tower Chamber 3 without using potions, and then Tower Chamber 4 requires you to use potions regularly, then I would back down to like Tower Chamber 1 and grind that out. You can do that one very quickly, and you can get through that with and get most books in the shortest amount of time. If you're looking for runestones to time, then I would probably go up to like Tower Chamber 5. You're going to be using a lot of potions, but you'll be getting more books per runestone that you use. So that's something to take into consideration, whether you're actually measuring it against time or the runestones used. Make sure I entered this one. And yeah, that everyone's a little bit different. You're basically looking for the level that you can regularly knock people out quickly and easily. That is where you can get through the fastest and get the most return for your investment of time. What do you think they will do for the next community day? This is from Muggles999. I have no idea. I want them to see. I want them to do something with fortresses. I like having the fortress on there. That bringing people together, that has really worked well. I think that they will probably do something a little bit different rather than just being a books grind. They might try and do something that's a little bit more. I don't know. I would love to see like big boss battles. I don't think the programming's in there for that yet, but I don't know. I think it'll be around fortresses. Let's put it that way. But beyond that, I really don't know. So we'll see. Let's see. Super chat from Benjamin. Hey man, he actually lives just a little ways away from me. He's been in a few of my videos. Helped me out recently with the Dark Detectors video. How many foundables have you not seen? The only one that I have not seen in the wild is the Portrait of Dumbledore. I have seen everything else. And most of them I've seen 2 or 3 times. I think there's only one that I've only seen twice, but I can't remember what it was. I'm actually going to be doing a video here soon, possibly tomorrow's video, where I'm going to be going through percentages of finding foundables in the wild, and I'll be looking at the list of what I've seen and what I haven't seen, as well as several others in the community that have been helping out with that. So that is a that's a video I've been looking forward to. So put this in there. Let's see. We have a question from Yuri Young, a patron. So thank you. Oh no, that's not a question. Sorry. Let's see. Cube de Grâce. Sorry, totally butchered the name. Okay, do you agree that the registry concept and how it's been developed is a giant disappointment and needs work? I can never find myself motivation enough to go out and look for foundables. No, actually, I kind of like the registry idea in the system there. And you need some method of collecting in the game, but you don't need a method that's identical to Pokemon Go. And having the registration system with prestiging up and having it constantly renewing of what you're collecting, and you have to get more of any particular type. I really like that methodology because it speaks to the collector, but it also speaks to the brainy geek. Because there's a lot of working through that. It's a very different way of doing it. So I kind of like that methodology. But one of the interesting things about the game is that some people, the registry is their focus, and that is their goal. And some people, their goal is XP and building their level. And some people, their goal is the challenges. And some people, the goal is building the skill tree. And so because of that, there's always something different. And one of the cool things about the game is that, like, for me, foundables are nice, the registry is good, and I do like prestiging the pages, but that's not a huge draw for me. For me, it's a little bit of everything in the exploration of all the different ins and outs of the game, and there are so many different complicated things to figure out and research. I really enjoy that part of the game. I've got a good friend who his entire goal is just building his skill tree. He wants to grind as high into the fortress as he possibly can, and so he is just pushing for books as fast as he can. And so everyone's going to have a slightly different thing. I don't think the system's broken. I think that just different people have different desires and different things that they're looking for. So let me add this one in here. Whoop. One more button. One more button. There we go. Let's see what other questions we got. Wow, this chat's flying by. Yes, Dumbledore's portraits are import keys, and I have seen them in there quite a few times. I think I have like 3 of them in my registry right now. But I haven't seen one in the wild, and that's what I'm waiting for. I've seen pictures of it, and it looks really cool, but I haven't seen it in the wild. Question. I'm in Henderson, Nevada, near Las Vegas. I'm having problems meeting with groups for the SOS level. What's the best way to get in touch with people who play the game? This is from Joanne Coe, C-O-E. I actually have a couple videos on how to find people, and there are a lot of different ins and outs in being able to find people around, whether you're searching on Facebook or Instagram, not Instagram, or what is it, the Wizards Unite forum. They actually have a community forum on there where you can post and get things like that. I think that's probably the best one right now. But the best thing is to do all of these different avenues, there's the word, and being able to search into those and go in different places and put your name out in all these different places. Definitely go look up the video I have on how to find other players. For rural players, that is often very hard, and I have seen quite a few people who will book out a day and say, hey, I'm just going to go have fun for a day, and they're going to travel to a larger city and connect up with the group on there. So you can find the Discord group for that larger city or in your area or something of that nature, and find other people that you can then meet up with and say, hey, I'm going to be in town from this time to this time. Who wants to play with me? I haven't played with anyone else, and you'd be surprised that a lot of people are really excited to do that. 18. Oop, wrong button. Let's try this one. There we go. Delete. There we go. Ooh, another super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Zha. I have 9 POD. Oh, 9 portraits of Dumbledore. Only 1 wild. Yeah. If this is Dr. Zha or Doctor Who from the Discord, I'm assuming it is. I don't see many other names with ZAH. Yeah, I'm actually going to be showing off his chart in the upcoming video, and it's really kind of cool to be able to see because he has the goal of actually going out and catching just about everything he sees, so you can actually get a good percentage of how often do different things spawn. And yeah, he has been doing a ton and still only seen 1 portrait. Be cool. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to read through these, so I don't actually get to read all the chat, but I'll try and get to as many as we can. Let's see, we've got one here from the Dragon Shower Soner. Dragons. Oh, Dragon's Owner. I put the space in the wrong place. The Dragon's Owner. Cool. Old school ingress agent here. We walked on the same stuff together in SCPA. Stats were always a thing there. What's your take on the new changes and achievements, removing the counter when done? Yeah, no, I'm actually I played Ingress from day 2 when that came out, and I still have my other account. I've deleted Pokemon Go off my phone, but I still have Ingress on my phone. Um, and as to removing the achievement counters, so if you go to your achievements and scroll all the way down to the ones you've gotten gold, you no longer see that you've done 700 out of 500 of your masterful casts. They've removed the counter from it. And I don't know if that was a permanent remove or a final one. I kind of like that because it puts everyone at an even playing field. Once you've hit gold, you've hit gold. There's no reason to keep counting. And so that kind of says everyone at that point, they've hit gold, and you can compare it, how many golds do you have. And I like that it balances that out, but then there is part of me that's like, I really would want to show off that I have 1,000 masterful casts. Because I've gone over and above. So I'm 50-50 on it. I'm not really for or against it, but I'm interested to see. I've heard a lot of people who are disappointed with that. I've heard a lot of people who are, I kind of like leaving it alone, because it does even the playing field a little bit and make it so that some people don't always feel left behind. Everyone's happy that they finally gotten the achievement. Make sure I put this in here. Okay. How much? No, that's not a question. Question. Other than being harder to get, what are the differences between 4 and 1 runestones? Between a 4 and 1 runestone. The higher your level of runestone, the more difficulty in the chamber. Also, the more family XP you get. So the more so if you use a level 1 runestone, you get 10 family XP, say. And if you lose a level 4 runestone, you could get 18 family XP. And so the higher the level, the more benefit you get from that. You don't get more foundables from them, but you do get more family XP, and you get a harder level chamber. And so because of that, then you're also going to get more regular XP as well. So they are more valuable to use, but not by that much. They do make the chambers harder, which is a lot more fun for some people. Add this one in. Oops, I hit the wrong button here. I just pasted a ton of stuff I wasn't intending to. Let's try that again. That question was from Fiona Watching. Fauna Watching. Oh, watching animals. Nice. I like it. Here we go. So that was 23. Sorry, I'm just making sure I get all these in for people who can't actually come for this, because we'll have quite a few people who want to watch this after the fact, and it's easier to go back and check them later. Let's do 21. Okay, next question. Let's find another one here. What foundable is one you hate to lose because you don't come out very often? There are a lot of them that I hate to lose. This is from George Bonilla. Any foundable that I need for the registry is one that I hate to lose. But that being said, if it has a red flare, I hate to lose it. They really irk me. But one of the cool things about leveling up is there is actually a very large change the higher level you go. So recently I bumped up to level 35, and the jump from level 24 to level 25 is huge in how easy the higher levels are to catch. The lower levels, there really isn't that much change, but the higher levels, your red flares and so on, there is a massive, massive change. And it becomes much easier. So I'm really looking forward to hitting 40 here soon and getting the next bump up, because it's very worth it. So definitely worth leveling up, because the foundables become much easier to change and less of them depart on you. Now they still depart, but it becomes easier. Oh, my kids are loud. I don't know if you can hear them. Are horned serpents the only known foundables not available everywhere? As far as I know right now, I haven't heard of any other foundables that are biome dependent. And that is an interesting thing that there's only one, and the horned serpents. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping that there'd be something that would be reverse biodependent, so there'd be something that only appears in desert biomes. But yes, that's the only one I have heard of that is dependent. Now that will be changed here soon when they make dragons regional. And I'm interested to see how they make them regional. Do they make them large regional as in continents, or do they make them small regional as in the United States? These collection of states have this one, and these collection of states have this one, so you can travel easier for them. But it'll be interesting to see that. Reading for questions. There we are. Cantarina Korea. Sponsored fortresses only exist in the U.S. They do exist in England as well, with EEs, and someone was telling me. Oh, and South Korea. There's some there, and someone was telling me they were in the Philippines too, but I haven't heard that one. So yeah, they're looking for other countries that will want to sponsor things, other companies that want to sponsor things in other countries. But as to like AT&T, they don't have any other. They're just in the U.S. And Cricket, I believe, is just in the U.S. Someone told me, I haven't looked this up, I need to look it up, that the Simon's malls have malls in a couple other countries, in which case those should have sponsored fortresses and sponsored inns, but that's all I know of. So basically U.S., U.K., and South Korea. 24. Paste that in. Delete. There we go. Let's see. Whoa, chat's going down. Question. There we are. What potions are you taking to FanFest? This is from Llissa Glisten, another patron. So thank you. I'm taking all of them. I'm particularly making sure I brew the ones that I can't buy. So Dwaddledroft, and Wit. Although I don't know if I'm going to be doing that many fortress chambers. I will be doing a bunch of wits. Let's see, invigoration draft, strong invigoration draft. You can't buy those, so I'm stocking up on those ones particularly. I'm going to keep like 20 potent stimulos and 20 strong stimulos, and if and when I run out of those, I will then buy more. But when catching dragons, because they're oddities, you don't need to use as many potions on them. So that's what I'm planning on. But yeah, that's the big thing, is I'm gearing up on the ones that you just can't buy. 28. Okay. Oh, wrong question. Let's change that up. Delete. Sorry about that. Yeah, and if some of you haven't seen, there have been a few people who have been posting the leaked information on FanFest. I'm not going to post that yet. I'll probably post it when it comes a little bit closer. But as things develop, because Wizards Unite has done several times where they've put stuff into the code and then changed it at the last minute just to throw people off. So I'm kind of interested to see if they do that here too. Let's see, Johan Nyström. Do you play with your kids? Not so much. They don't have phones. We have phones that don't have SIM cards, and so they can tether to my phone. And I've done that a couple times. JJ, my oldest son, he is somewhat interested in it. And so I have played a little bit with him, but not that much. They're not quite as interested as... the game is a little bit too complicated for them. The game is really geared towards late 20s, 30s, whereas Pokemon Go is teens, early 20s. And so for kids who are 6, 7, and 8, it's not as enjoyable for them. So they don't. I mean, they like spending time with me and going out and play with them. Anytime I tether the phone for them, they're happy for that. But as to the game particularly, it's not something that they're totally into. Let's see. Dakota asks, FanFest, are you going both days? Yes, I am. Well, I'm only going to be playing on Saturday. That's when my ticket is for. But I will be there both days, and I will be wandering around. And I mean, several things that I'm planning on doing giveaways. I actually have I have 5 wands. So there are 4 that I made a while ago, and I'm going to be taking these to give away. And then I've got 1 officially branded Harry Potter wand. And then I've got a stack, a Mondo stack of chocolate frog cards that I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to separate them out so that one day I'll have 1 half and the other day I'll have another half, so they don't all go the first day. And then I've got 1 of the pentagonal chocolate frog cards to give away. And let's see. Oh, I've got stickers. I'll be giving those away. And then, oh yeah, I was just had these. So I was given these 2 battery backups. They're kind of nice little ones, but the problem is they're all iPhone and I use Android. So I'll be giving away these. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do to give those away, but I will be wandering around giving those all away while I'm there. So lots of fun things. Oh my, catching back up. Sorry. Baris Helvaki. Sorry, I totally butchered that name. Question. Pokemon Go gyms give Pokeballs. Do you think fortresses should give spell energy? No, I don't. I like that they're separating things out. I actually... a lot of people think that they should duplicate what they do in Pokemon Go because Pokemon Go is working. Well, no, I want it to be a completely different game. I want it to be something that's separate. And so the idea that they don't give energy, I like that fact. Otherwise, you would just sit on them and get energy from them in Fortress. I like the fact you also have to have inns to get the energy to come back and play in the Fortress. So, yeah, that's my personal preference on it. Though who knows what they'll do in the future. I've had a lot of people talking about the... what's the word I'm looking for? Greenhouses and changing those up to either give more energy or to be more like an inn, or changing them around. So I'm kind of interested to see what they have planned for that. Dan Braun. Why do average foundables no flare? Why do you think need to change? Chance. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking there. Sorry. Do sponsored fortresses give more challenge XP? Yes, they give a little bit more XP. That was broken right off the bat, but then they fixed it. And so now if you go to them, you do get a little bit more. They're not incredibly beneficial, but if I have one near, that's probably the spot I'm going to go grind because I'll get a little bit more from them. Does it make a huge difference? Not really. But if you've got one, use it because it's worth it. Melba Griffith. Dark detectors don't work for me. Any suggestions? Have tried 3 as per your video, but nothing appears. I'm in a dark nest. Don't use dark detectors in a nest. That will dull down their efficiency. So use them outside of the nest. At least that's my experience, that they don't work quite as well inside the nest. So hope that helps you. But what you'll notice is that there'll be a small swirl running around the bottom of them if they are actually spawning anything. 34. Let's see. What's next here? Why would you play the game differently if you don't have this channel? Yes. And no. If I didn't have the channel, number one, I wouldn't be spending as much money on it because I wouldn't be pumping the money into doing research. So like buying all of the dark detectors to do dark detector research, buying all the ruinstones in order to try different forms of grinding. So I've put a lot into that. I would actually get to play the game more if I wasn't. If I didn't have a channel, I would be much higher level because I would have more time to play. Because I usually spend 3 to 5 hours every day creating videos. And so that's time where I probably would spend at least one of those hours out playing. But yeah, I don't get to do as much as I want to do. But maybe someday. Let's see. What's your favorite HP character? And what shop? What's that shop you've got? Oh, well, my favorite character is Mad Eye Moody. I just like I am a big fan of steampunk, and I find him to be the most steampunkish-ish person. The idea of having the augmented eye and the leg and using a lot of dark detectors and things of that nature. I like that characteristic, and the gruff and in charge. I think I like him, even though that 90% of all Mad Eye Moody wasn't actually Mad Eye Moody in the books. But he's my favorite. And what's the shop? Well, here, let me turn the camera a little bit. And it's, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do it with the cable on. But I'm in a wood shop here. Nope, I'm not going to be able to turn it far enough. Because, oh my. Here, let's try that again. There we go. Now you can see the shop. So this is, I can't go any farther than that. Unless I do that. Nope, that's as far as I can go. I have 10 different YouTube channels, so you can see right over here I've got my my silver play button, and that is from Wood by Wright, and so I teach hand tool woodworking on another channel, and so that's where it is. So I am a full-time YouTuber-ish. I'm a stay-at-home dad who does YouTube, and it's making enough that it's about half the family income right now. But doing that, I do several other channels, so that is my shop. And that's why there's several woodworking things and carving. But I try and keep the backdrop here a little neutral because I use it for several of my channels. So it's more of me and who I am. I am a runner. I do woodworking. I have Harry Potter stuff. And that's kind of the way I am. So I need to stop calling it my shop and start calling it my studio, because that's really what it is more of, even though it is my shop for woodworking. Let's see, what's the next question? Ooh, oh, we got another super chat. Sponsored fortresses give 25% more challenge XP. I haven't noticed that. That'd be interesting to play with, though. But if anyone would know, you would. So thank you. That was from Zha. Yeah, definitely got to go check that out, because I actually haven't done much sponsored fortress testing, because the closest one to me is a 25-minute drive away, and there's a lot of other fortresses closer that it's just worth the time to stay at a closer one. But I should test that out, so thank you. Niantic said young Jenny would appear more often. Do you notice that? That's from Katerina Korea. Yeah, so you asked a question a little bit ago. I have not noticed it yet, but I haven't actually been able to go out and play much since that has come out. The last few days, I just haven't had much chance to go out and play. And the next few days, I'm not going to have much chance to go out and play, because I'm grinding out everything, as I have to get 17 videos created before FanFest to get those all ready to go out. So I'm doing a lot of work in the shop and studio, getting videos ready, so I haven't had a chance much to play. I have heard several other people say, yeah, they do appear a bit more. But before, they were appearing like 0.01% of the time, and so now they're appearing like 0.05% of the time. So they have been increased, but they're still a very rare item. Question: do you work outside of YouTube? No. And I've had a lot of people ask me about my backstory, so I figured this might be a good chance to give that. My backstory, yes. My undergrad is in biblical counseling. My master's is in technical theater. Soon after my master's, I landed my dream job of working out at Sight and Sound Theaters. It's in Pennsylvania. And so I got to do a lot of work with Broadway and things like that, but then I also was working with Sight and Sound. And we were building multi-million-dollar sets, working with technology that was out of this world incredible, doing special effects for theater. But my pay was just a little bit more than we were paying the babysitter to watch the kids while I worked. So we figured it'd be better if we moved back here, got into a cheaper house, and I was just being a stay-at-home dad, and we lived off what my wife made. And that worked really well, but I got very bored very quickly, and so I picked up the hobby of doing hand tools. And whenever I pick up a new hobby, I start videoing it to document it, and I put those up on YouTube. And I don't ever expect anyone else to watch them. I'm just documenting it for myself. Well, people started watching my hand tool videos, and that channel took off. And that was about 4 years ago. And so now that channel is at, 113,000 subscribers. And so I have several different woodworking channels on that. I have a channel for running. I have a channel for real estate, as I used to be a real estate broker. And I have a few other things like that. But my passion, one of the things I've always wanted to do is do a gaming channel. When Ingress first came out, I was about to do it, but I was like, no one will ever watch that. So I never did one for Ingress. And then Pokemon Go came out, and around that time is when I started up Wood by Wright. And so I was really focusing on getting Wood by Wright up, and so I didn't get a video out for Pokemon Go. But then Wizards Unite came out, and I am a big Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter, and it was just like this awesome thing of, okay, if you're going to do it, now's the time, so get the channel going. And so I got the channel on that. So I am a stay-at-home dad, but now YouTube is a significant portion of the family's income that officially I'm a full-time YouTuber. So yeah. It's kind of one of those hard things because I don't actually have like a job. I make YouTube for a living. But that being said, Wizards Unite is a very, very small portion of my income. Most of it comes from the woodworking channels. So I generally consider that to be my job. And so this gets to be my playtime and my hobby. So yeah. Hope that answered your question. Whoa, lots more comments. Let's see, we got a comment from Bradley Combs. What was your favorite run that you've ever participated in? One particular favorite run. I don't know if I could do that. That's a hard one. It's like picking a favorite child. Let's see. Ooh, here we are. This one right here. That was the Crimea River 100K. And so it was a 100K race. It actually ended up being about 66 miles. It had enough climb in it that it was what? It was 19,000 feet of climb in the total of the race. So it was up and down, up and down, up and down. That was a lot of fun. It was 17 hours of running. Beautiful, beautiful course. I really enjoyed that one. I've got one coming up in January. I think it's going to be my new favorite, and it's the Frozen Gnome. It's 100K up in northern Wisconsin in January, and so average temperature is like -10 Fahrenheit, so it's like what, -30 Celsius. He's cold. No, I think it's actually like -35, something around that. It's cold. And it's 100K, and it's a required pack, so you have to be carrying 35 pounds of stuff while you're doing the 100K distance. And so I'm really looking forward to that one. Sorry, off topic, but I really like talking about running. Is there a way besides nests to find certain foundables? Not really. That's the only specific way to find a particular type, is going to a nest or a flagged area. So yeah, it's hard to zone in on any one item. Maybe just put that down while I'm thinking about it. There we go. Do you have a YouTube channel for Ingress? No, I've made several videos for Ingress, but I never actually had a channel, and those are on my personal channel. And they're old. They're like 5 or 6 years old now. That I was thinking about creating a channel for it, but then backed out of it. I wish I had, but I didn't. Ooh, 45. There's the word. Let's see. Next question. Do you think many people switch to Auror Magizu after the massive nerf from professors? No. I don't think many people have made that jump. I mean, it was a big knockdown, but it was kind of expected. Everyone knew it was a bug in the game, and it's not that big of a knockoff. It's a lot of people out there haven't even noticed the change. Only the people who are really doing fortresses heavily notice the big change in that. So no, I don't think there's that big of a change. And it wouldn't be a bad thing if more people switched away, because professor really is the biggest group. But that being said, it's only like 38% of everyone is a professor. So they're pretty well balanced. They're far better balanced than the 3 teams in Pokemon Go. Add that in. What is the highest fortress level you have grinded? We have a group that does Dark 2 without potions. I usually grind on forest level 1. That's what I do, and I occasionally use a potion, but not that much. But I haven't done much grinding in a week or two, because I really need to get out there, but haven't yet. But the highest level I've achieved that I've gone by myself is Dark 4. Well, excuse me, I've finished Dark 3. I've unlocked Dark 4. And I'm pretty sure if I were to go out right now, I could do Dark 5. But I haven't had the chance to go out and try it. Whoops. I've been posting the wrong thing over here. Let me try this again. Ooh, there we go. Got to make sure I get these in for everyone. There we go. That's better. Have you considered doing a documentary on building of Hogwarts Playhouse for both of your channels? On the building of the Hogwarts Playhouse. No, I have not done. I've not thought about that. No, I might now. How long spawns last in the wild? There is a rolling factor on how long the spawns last. So some spawns regenerate every 15 minutes, some spawns regenerate every 30 minutes, and some spawns regenerate every 45 minutes. So different things do different rates, and that's why it's different. So if you come back to a zone 45 minutes later, it will be a completely new spawn set. If you come back 30 minutes later, it will be a fairly new spawn set, but there'll still be a few things missing. But if you clear the area, you'll definitely be seeing new things popping up within 15 minutes. Whoa, more questions. Do you think new dragon port keys mentioned might take us to the dragon's region so everyone can collect them? I don't think so. I think the dragon port keys are just going to be something very simple, and then you get a dragon's egg as a reward for it. I don't think they're actually going to transport you to a different region. It would be interesting, but I don't think they'll take it that far. I know a lot of people up front were thinking that port keys would take them to a different location or being able to play with other people in another location, but not quite. How do you get more elites? This is from Claire Hills. You play higher levels. You start getting into darks, and it's not uncommon to get 2 or 3 elites in a single challenge. I mean, you do occasionally get challenges where you don't have any elites, but they do pop up. And I want to do a video here soon about how to get elites, because if you get 100 elites, then you get an achievement for 7 more books, and it's 500 elites, and you get another achievement for 15 more books. And 20 elites is 3 more books. 3 more books, yeah. And usually what I do when I'm trying to grind elites is I'll do something like Forest Level 1. And I'll pop into it and I'll see how many foes are there. And with Forest Level 1, if there are 6 foes, there's a very, very, very low chance that any of them are going to be elites. But if I get in there and there are only 4 foes, then that means one of them is probably going to be an elite. So if I'm grinding elites, I'm going to hop in, I'm going to check it, and if the number is high enough, then if the number is too high, then I'm going to back out and then hop in again. Yes, that burns runestones, because when you leave it, you use the runestone. But if you're grinding that, then that's what you're focusing on. You're not focusing on runestones. But the key is the higher you go, the more often they show up. How much time do you spend prepping for your videos? That depends on a lot of things. This is from Ryan C. The average video takes me 3 to 5 hours to shoot, edit, and upload. And that's pretty quick in the world of YouTube videos. And a lot of that's just because I do a lot of videos and I have a lot of things that just make them faster and easier for me. On an average week, I'm putting out 15 to 17 videos across all my channels. So usually every day I'm making at least 2, if not more, videos. And so time is of the essence to get them done. Now, that being said, if they are a big research video, like the one coming up for port keys, I'll have about 4 hours or so of shooting, editing, and uploading that video. But I'm probably going to have a good 20 to 30 hours of work that has been done beforehand to get to that video. So yeah, some of them are like that, and then some of them, like the news video 2 days ago, that one was like 3 hours, shoot, edit, and upload, reading through a few articles online. I doubt I had more than 3 hours into that entire video. So everyone's a little bit different. Oop, wrong button. Let's try this one. Question: how make professions level go up faster? That the professions level is developed by how much you have developed your tree. So if you want to push your profession level up higher, then that means you need to develop your tree more. And once you get into the tree farther, that means more books. And so that means grinding fortresses to get challenge XP so that you can get books, so that you can up your stats tree to then up your level. So it's a long ride for that, but basically it's building your skill tree is the big key there. What's the highest you have gone solo without using potions? I actually don't track that much because I regularly use a lot of potions, just because I like to push it higher. If I had to guess, I would say Forest 1. Pretty sure most of the time I could do Forest 1 without potions, or very minimal potions. So I think that would be where I would sit. I'm currently middle of profession level 11 for professors. 53, oops, that should be in 52. 52, sorry, got to counter these in. Keeping track of all the questions so that people can see them later. More questions. So we're getting close to time. I'm probably only going to be able to get 4 or 5 more questions in here. So if there's anything particular you really want me to do, throw a super chat up and I'll hit it. But otherwise, I'll get as many as I can. Let's see, Stacy Grinston. What do you think we can expect for the Dragon Oddities? Will they prestige challenges? Will they pose a challenge unlike other oddities? I think that they will be difficult. They will not be that difficult. So they'll be more like a Urkling, a couple hits and you knock them out. Maybe like a snake, where they'll take 2, maybe 3 hits to knock out. But I don't think they'll be that much of a challenge because they're just oddities. If they do become a challenge, then a lot of people are going to complain about them because then that means that they need to use more energy on them, and people don't want to use a lot of energy on things if they don't have to. So I think that they will be. I think they'll be keeping them relatively easy to knock out, especially since you're going to need to do a lot of them. So be ready for that. Have you explained the auror trick to get strategic spells cast for red books? This is from Mandel as sorry, man. Frowny face. No, I want to do that. I'm actually working. I'm currently working on grinding. Elite foes. There's the word. Because I want to show I want to do a video on how to get more red books. And the 2 big ways that you can get a bunch of those are elite foes and then getting more of your strategic spells. So if you get 2 aurors in a challenge, they can actually trade focus back and forth, and you can put out a strategic spell more than 1 a second. And so you can get through your strategic spells very, very quickly to get 15 more books. Actually 25 books when you go through all of the achievements there. 55. But yes, I will be showing that soon. I have video footage for that. Just haven't gotten the chance to do it. Hey, Jeffrey. Glad you could make it in here. Let's see. Where's another question here? What's the longest time you've spent playing the game in a single day? I did one grind a while ago and actually put a video up on it where I was out for 14 hours straight. In that 14 hours, I did, I want to say 240,000 XP. So it was a pretty decent day. I would like to do longer. And originally, before they nerfed back the XP from fortresses, back when you could get 30,000 XP an hour, I was seriously looking at sitting on a fortress for 24 hours and just grinding a fortress for 24 hours. Thought that would make a pretty fun video. And my calculations were coming out to somewhere around 700,000 XP in a single day. And that would have been a lot of fun. But alas, the day I set aside a day for it, and I was planning to do an entire day for it, and I got ready for it, and then they nerfed it the day before I was planning on doing that, and so then I didn't. So yeah. Question: are there going to be quests during FanFest for people not attending? This is for Wonder Woman New Zealand. She was one of the beta testers. I don't know. I'm hoping they do that. I'm assuming it is going to be more of an event kind of thing where there are higher bonuses, more XP, or it's Brufgo's Brain Elixir lasts longer or something of that nature. I hope that they have some challengers or something like that, but they haven't said anything. They've been playing that one really close to the chest. I hope they make it kind of fun for people who can't make it there. But we'll see. My favorite oddities. My favorite are oddities. What are your favorite confoundable? Oh, oddities. Yeah, I always love oddities. They're just fun. They're slightly different every time I see one. Especially like I'll do a lot of evening hunts and to go out for that. I'm looking forward to doing that at FanFest and doing a early morning doxy hunt each day. I'd like to be able to prestige that page while there. But yeah, I love oddities. They're fun. Who doesn't like oddities? Do you think dragons might possibly be multiplayer raid oddities? I don't think so. That's from Vector Thompson. I think that would be taking it a bit too far. Would be interesting. I hope that they do some sort of raid boss or challenge boss in the future, but we'll see how that goes. That would be cool. Let's see. I'll answer 2 more questions here unless someone throws up a super chat. Question: do you have hum portal PoGo? Hum portal PoGo got stop. I don't know what you're saying. Do you have a hum? Oh, home portal PoGo stop or in? Got it. No, I don't. I used to. I've been moving a lot. I've moved 25 times and lived in 9 different states. And actually, before my youngest reached 3, he lived in 5 different houses. And I've had home portals on a few of them, but I do not at this current location. I'm currently looking into, can I sponsor a fortress? Because I would love to do a video on how you can sponsor your own fortress and put a fortress at your house. I think that would be absolute awesome. But no, I do not have a home portal at this place. I've had it at 2 of my houses. Both of those were ones that I submitted and got them to put in. But no, I've not been able to do one here. I've submitted 2 of them for this house, but both of them were pretty cheesy and got knocked down. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got one more super chat. Kim, let me see if you had a question. Do you know what the future of the registry with posters of Umbridge and etc. are? This from Kim Sustek. I do not. There has been a lot of speculation. I'm really hoping that they are some sort of challenge boss. So they're a big, hard to beat thing that you really have to have multiple people. I think that's what they're going to be. but I don't know. They're looking really interesting. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go into your registry and go down to your challenge section, and then all the way over to the right side of your challenge section, there are a couple things there where you can actually go into. They're like these posters of bad guys, and they look really interesting. I'm not sure how those will work out, so that should be exciting. So I think that's about it for now. I'm hoping to do a Q&A like this once every other month or so, and put this up there. This is kind of cool. Sorry I couldn't get to all your questions. Hopefully next time. But I think that's about it. Let me finish off with a chocolate frog, because I only have a few of them left. And I'm probably going to stop doing chocolate frogs when I'm out of these, because I purchased over 100 of them originally. And they do get expensive. And there's only 8 cards you can possibly get, so after a little while you've seen them all. But let's see who we got today. Today, we got, hopefully, someone special. Oh! Gilderoy. Oh, wow. Total tongue twister there. Gilderoy Lockhart. And he is one of the hard ones. Him and Dumbledore. I think I've only gotten 3 Dumbledores. I've only gotten like 5 or 6 Gilderoy Lockharts. So kind of cool we got that one. But yeah, I think I'll do it. And I will be giving out all of my chocolate frog cards at FanFest. And they're all signed and dated. So if you want to go back and actually look at the video. Wow, have I been out of focus this whole time? I have been. Wow, that's better. So you can see they're all signed and dated. So you can go back and look at the video where your card came from. But I think that's about it. So until next time, have a wonderful day. And now I'm going to play the game of where is the button to stop this thing? There it is. Bye.